Hello, greetings 7-2 team. It's Mr. DeCoco with another, uh, I guess you'd call it a video lesson. I want to just give a few important reminders, recap some important uh, things that you should be uh, learning, and just preview some of the items that you're going to be learning about in the next lesson. So first off are the reminders. Tomorrow is Friday. Quarter 3 ends tomorrow. Uh, any success indicators or owed work needs to be in tomorrow. Now, if you owe a success indicator, a lot of people have been turning them in, but if you owe one, they're posted on the classroom page in the classwork tab. If you have any past due assignments that you want me to see and count, you have to take a picture of it and email it to me. Unfortunately, I don't have copies of those homework assignments from the chapter 6, 7 Constitution packets online. I have no way of putting them on there. So if you have those and want to get credit, take a picture and email. As of now, I cannot grade any of the online work that's been assigned. I can't count that as a grade. I can only give feedback, answer questions. So I wanted to say that first. Secondly, I wanted to mention that last lesson, you read about Thomas Jefferson becoming president. You answered some questions on that. The two key points to that lesson is that Thomas Jefferson was a Democratic Republican, unlike George Washington, who officially had no political party, and John Adams, who was a Federalist. So the Thomas Jefferson presidency was the first time in our history that there's a shift in political power, and it happens peacefully. Today we take that for granted. We have Democratic and Republican presidents coming and going every 4 to 8 years, but nobody was sure how that was going to be. Keep in mind, this is a time period where most countries were ruled by kings, queens. Transitions of power were oftentimes not peaceful. So we had a peaceful transition of power. We went from having a Federalist government to a Democratic Republican government, and nobody got hurt. Jefferson stood for small government, and he wanted the nation to become agricultural. Another thing you learned about was Marbury versus Madison. That's the first time the Supreme Court exercises what's called judicial review. Judicial review is when the judicial branch can rule upon the actions of any other branch of government. They established that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, and that whenever there's a legal conflict, the Constitution will always be followed. Today, or for this lesson, I guess, what you're going to be learning about next is the Louisiana Purchase. You're going to learn that Thomas Jefferson is going to make the largest land purchase in U.S. history. He's going to buy land from France, and it's going to be called the Louisiana Purchase. This land's called the Louisiana Territory. At the time, it was owned by France, and France was being ruled by a dictator named Napoleon. Napoleon needed money fast because he was fighting a war with England, and he needed money to raise more soldiers for his army, and to buy military equipment and fund his war with England. So one way he could make quick cash was by selling land that he felt France didn't need. France owned millions and millions of acres of land west of the Mississippi River. So Napoleon and the U.S. government made a deal, and France agreed to sell Louisiana for $15 million to the United States, which was a lot of money back then. That's over $15 billion today or more. But when you look at how much land was bought for that price, it was actually one of the best bargains in history. At 530 million acres for $15 million, that averaged out to be about 3 cents an acre. And in considering that 13 states would be created from this land, that's a tremendous bargain. Overnight, the United States becomes one of the largest countries in the world, and we were, at the time, the newest country in the world. And this helps fulfill Jefferson's dream of having lots of land for farmers. Remember, he wanted the U.S. to be an agricultural nation. After the land is purchased, we have to explore that land. So 2 men are given the task of exploring that land. Their names are Lewis and Clark. They're going to lead an expedition west. And their mission is going to be successful in that they map the entire territory. They discover new plants and animals. Animals like the grizzly bear. Nobody knew what that was until Lewis and Clark. And they inspire thousands of other Americans to move west onto these lands. So you're going to read about that also and do some activities related to that. Last thing I want to mention is what your task is for the next few days, or at least until the next video lesson is posted. Right? So I'll have this written down on the classroom page, but I'm going to say them now so you know what you're doing. You want to read pages 282, 285 of the text. That's chapter 9, section 2. You want to watch The Meme Story by a teacher named Mr. Betts. You already watched some music videos by him. He's a little silly, but they're very, very good videos, good stories, because he sums up the main points. You're going to watch a meme story by Mr. Betts, summing up the Lewis and Clark expedition. And then there are going to be 3 online activities, and there'll be links for each one of them, where you're going to read a short passage, answer some questions, do a closed reading activity where you put the right word in the sentence, and a map. There's going to be a map that you complete where you need to figure out what state was created out of the Louisiana Purchase. So all this could be done right online. Everything's going to be linked to the classroom page. And that's it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. A lot of you have been doing that. Keep staying connected. If you have questions, again, email me, and I will get back to you. All right, till then, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and hopefully I see you soon. Bye-bye.